What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to take a look at showing you guys how I use my notebook, how I set it up and stuff, and basically just my overall system for it in terms of how, like when I study, how I use it. Now, I've always been inspired to use notebooks, but I've just never really been able to get kind of a system that works for me with the color coding and stuff. And as you guys know, that I am the type of person that if I add too many details to something, that I end up stopping. So I'm going to show you guys what I found out. This is obviously inspired by Lindy, and there's lots of other people that use notebooks, but specifically Lindy's videos on her grammar study and stuff like that. And basically, I'm going to walk you through kind of a study session that I'm going to do, and I'll show you guys how I use it. To make this a little bit easier, I am using my Afrikaans notebook and not my Japanese notebook. Just to kind of showcase that. Yes, Japanese is still my focus. 80-90% of my time is spent on Japanese, but I've been studying Afrikaans off and on for several months before I even started Japanese, and it's just something that I like to kind of maintain. But anyway, let's get into this. I'm going to show you guys how I use it, and hopefully you enjoy. For today's video, I'm going to be using the Bluebird Languages app, and specifically the conversation practice that they have. And in that, I'm going to be doing Cinema from Hitchcock because that is an interest of mine.
Let's listen to how he says it.
This knocks.
I start out line by line of the dialogue. I listen to the first line spoken, and I write it out exactly as it's said. Bluebird fortunately has everything listed at the bottom so you can see how to spell it. That way, if you need to look it up, you can. What I'm doing here is going line by line, word by word, writing down the meaning of every single word. Now, this may not give you the exact context of a sentence because sometimes it's the way that things are put together that make the meaning, which I will get into later, but for the time being, this is what I do until I get to a grammar point that I feel that I need to write down and memorize. I simply write down the word's translation, that way I have a general idea for the meaning of the sentence. Here I have a grammar point that I want to remember, so I'll just make a bracket down below the word, and then I will just put the general meaning of that grammar point down below. That way I can reference it. After I finish going through the lesson and having everything written down, I will go through all the notes that I had created from all the dialogue that was represented, and I will just simply write down anything that is important to me. The important to me section is just things that are exactly that. They're things that I think that I will use in normal everyday conversation. There's a lot that is in these conversation practices that I don't necessarily write down, and that's okay, but then there are some things that I write down because, again, I feel that it's something that I may use on a more so normal basis. So that is how I use my notebook. Hopefully that made sense to you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Another thing that I will do on top of this that I didn't really mention is that I will sometimes then go and, for example, if I'm using Bluebird or if I'm even watching a TV show, if I find new words that I want to incorporate into my vocabulary, I will write those down, and then I will try to incorporate them into the sentences or the information, like the important to me words that I know. For example, if I wanted to use "kommen die blank blank in," which is like get in the whatever, like if I, for example, I don't know, I know elevator, for example, I would just practice that "kommen die Heisbach in," get in the elevator, like that kind of stuff. And so that's where I would kind of build that. And yeah, that's pretty much how I do it. I've always wanted to take notes, and I really find that this is helping me maintain information in Japanese and in Afrikaans, and I don't know, it's really working. So this is a very easy thing to do, and I think that if maybe the color coding system and stuff overwhelms you like it did me, even though it's something I wanted to do, this is something easy to kind of get into it just to be able to take notes, because I do think there's a connection in writing stuff and having it stick into your brain. So anyway, that is going to be the video today. Thank you all so much. Hopefully the lighting's not too bad. I just got this lighting kit. I had someone make a donation, and it was enough to pay for a large portion of a good lighting kit. So I'm going to mess around with that. Hopefully it's not too bad and stuff like that. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that's at Seabolt Speaks. And hopefully I'll talk to you guys there. But regardless, I will see you all in the next video.